Some closure for the Barrow County community tonight as the Apalachee High School shooter and his father have both been sentenced to years behind bars.
Atlanta News First reporter Chelsea Beimfohr is at the Barrow County Courthouse with reaction to the sentence a judge handed down to Colin Gray.
The prosecution wanted 80 years behind bars, but instead Colin Gray will only serve 15, a decision that clearly disappointed the victims' families. Colin Gray was convicted on 27 charges earlier this year, including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. He gave his son Colt Gray the AR-style rifle and ammunition used in the deadly attack and failed to address Colt's declining mental health. On Thursday, the victims' families asked Judge Nicholas Prim to impose the maximum sentence.
Though he did not shoot the gun, he bought the bullets.
A parent's negligence shouldn't cost innocent children their lives.
Judge Prim recognized that Colin did not pull the trigger, but said he failed as a parent and ignored the warning signs.
You were convicted because the warning lights were flashing brighter and brighter, and you didn't get him help, and you didn't remove his access to the guns. I recognize that no parent believes that their child is capable of committing a heinous crime. No parent thinks that their child is going to be the next school shooter. But it became more and more obvious that something bad was going to happen.
District Attorney Brad Smith says despite a shorter sentence than he was hoping for, he thinks Colin's conviction will send a message to other parents.
People need to understand that this is a phenomenon going through our society and do not take these things lightly. And I own guns. I'm not against people owning guns. I own them myself. But when you see someone in distress, please take away their access to guns.
Judge Nicholas Prim hopes that the community can begin to heal and start to move forward past this tragedy. Reporting from the Barrow County Courthouse, Chelsea Beimfohr, Atlanta News First.